Hi there, students. Welcome to Global Ed's Leaders in Motion workshop. This is something that has been very close to my heart for almost a decade. My goal is to help mentor leaders and mentors. This, I feel, is a crucial skill for personal and professional growth. So let's explore how we can develop these skills to create a positive impact. Let's start with a brief introduction. Mentoring and leadership are really interconnected skills that can specifically influence our careers and the careers of those that you mentor. They go hand in hand. As an adjunct professor, I have a unique opportunity to guide and inspire my students and colleagues in this field. So, this is a passion project indeed. The importance of mentoring and leadership is that mentoring involves providing guidance, support, and feedback to help others develop their skills and to achieve their goals. Leadership, on the other hand, is about inspiring and motivating others towards work and a common vision. So, both of these skills are essential for fostering and collaborating productivity and a productive environment. Some of the skills that are involved for mentoring include active listening, showing empathy, and feedback. Moreover, really goal setting. So, in the area of active listening, we need to learn to really pay attention to our mentees' concerns and their aspirations. This will help build trust specifically and better understanding. With empathy, we understand how to relate to our mentees and to experience what they go through and also listen for certain challenges. Additionally, feedback. We need to be able to provide constructive feedback at at the goal of encouraging growth and empowerment. And again, finally, goal setting. This, of course, is used to help your mentees set realistic and achievable goals. Skills and effective leadership, on the other hand, um, add four elements such as communication, decision making, adaptability, and inspiration. So, under communications, we need to clearly articulate the vision and the expectations. And additionally, we need to explore effective communication and how it fosters collaboration and reduces misunderstandings. With decision making, we need to make informed decisions that can really benefit the team and align your personal and professional goals. Adaptability is another area. We need to be flexible and open to change. That's a hard one because oftentimes we don't really want to change. So, adaptability is crucial in dynamic environments. And finally, we learn about inspiration. Motivate, and inspire your team to achieve their best. So, we need to look at the goal is to embrace growth and impact. And in order to do this, we're learning to develop mentoring and leadership skills and find out how they can lead us to personal growth and to this positive impact on our colleagues in the workplace and within our circle of influence. So by fostering and supportive mentoring skills within your environment can really help others to reach their potential and their full potential specifically, and learning how to contribute to the success of your business, workplace, your institution of learning as well. So, this is how we're going to get started in this particular workshop. I hope you're ready to get on board and join the first workshop for mentoring and leadership skills. Thank you. Bye-bye. Sure. All right. Well, I'd like to once again, welcome everyone to our Lead and Lift Developing Mentoring and Leadership Skills. And this is a very exciting series that I would like to share with you about something that I think all of us need, leaders and individuals that are in the job market, understanding how things are developing and how things are changing. So last week we did quickly go through some of the objectives here. I will go over those again. By the end of this workshop, you will be able to understand the roles and responsibilities of mentors and leadership, understand certain styles, mentoring approaches, learning about the importance of active living. Active living and active listening, offering feedback, goal setting techniques, and how to build confidence in guiding and supporting others. So I'm going to quickly give you some tips. Hopefully you'll be taking notes along the way. I'm going to show you a short little video clip to just kind of get us warmed up into what we will be experiencing. But this is discussing the what, the so what, and now what. And this is a certain model that we will be understanding about identifying and exploring and offering active feedback in the way that we all excel and receive mentoring instruction. So this is just something really quick. Hopefully I'll be able to go ahead and get this set up.
The what, so what, now what model provides a structured approach to a coaching or mentoring session. It doesn't matter where you are or what you are talking about. Following this model will help you have a productive conversation with your coachee or mentee. Let's imagine you are now coaching your colleague Fred. First, you should identify the focus of the session. What do you want to focus on, Fred, in the time we have? What is your main goal? You need to encourage him to do more than just describe his problem. Instead, Fred should work towards recognizing his part in the problem, overcoming the obstacles that may be preventing him from solving it. This will give him a realistic idea of how far he is from achieving the goal. After that, you should think about the possible next steps to help Fred, your coachee, achieve his goal. So, what are the different ways you could approach this issue? Which option would give the best result? Listening actively to Fred and asking him good questions at this stage will encourage creative solutions, helping him to feel that he can achieve his goal. Then it's time to take steps to achieve Fred's goal. You need to get him to commit to specific, practical, achievable actions. It's the only way he will move closer to the goal. Now, what is the most suitable action to take? This commitment and your timely and effective feedback will empower Fred and increase the likelihood of him achieving his goal.
Okay, so this just kind of gives us a little bit of a warm up as to kind of the things that we want to expect and determine and find out about our coaching and mentee mentorship. And it's very important for us to have some guidelines to kind of get us on the right track of things. So that's what this is all about. And so I want us to continue with understanding what, when we're mentoring someone else, we want to make sure that we're on the same page. And asking the most important thing is, so what? What about this? What do we do next? And just kind of setting up a course, a path for us to move on to. So we we have a short little activity that I call it mentor moments, and wanted to share with each other. The idea and the purpose is to build connection and to introduce this theme. And then we will also go over a debriefing of what is mentorship as well. So, real quickly, I'm just going to run through and just have you guys give a little bit of information of your idea of mentorship and what you feel that is. So, let's start with Allie, if you don't mind. Allie, just one or two words. What is mentorship to you? Oh, Allie, are you there? Allie might not be there. Saya, are you there?
I'm here. Also, there's only three other people here. I'm not sure if everyone managed to get into the meeting, so that's why Ali wouldn't be responding because she's not here.
Oh, okay. Would someone perhaps send a text and just on the general text and state that the last link I sent was good to go? But anyway, let's go ahead and move on. What is your idea, would you say, Saya?
Like of mentorship, I suppose someone who helps you get going. Like it doesn't someone who guides you towards your end goal in a positive way and forms a positive connection with you while doing so.
Okay, that's very good. Very nicely said. Now, I think Michelle is on board too. Michelle, are you there?
Here.
Hi, Michelle. Would you mind sharing just a little bit about one or two words about what you think mentorship is?
I feel like mentorship is encouragement.
Hmm.
It,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, that's it.
That's good. Yeah. Those are all great suggestions, and they are all important, and we do need that encouragement. Just to share with that, it is. Um, the act of mentoring is more when you keep in mind an action. So it's something where not only you're encouraging, but you want to encourage with a purpose, making sure that you have that movement, that we are able to move forward in the process and not get stuck. So I want you to take down a screenshot of this or a photo of this little activity. We won't do it right now, but I want you to, hopefully, we have a time that we're going to share with each other. Just take a little screenshot of this, and we'll get back to that. Okay, these areas of the purpose and the debriefing and how it's meaningful. Okay, so next we are going to move into actually defining what is mentorship and what is leadership. So we have some distinctive definitions that we want to go over, the definition and distinctions and how they actually overlap. I have some other information and resources that I will share with you about the Venn diagram. A lot of us see that, and it's just kind of the diagram of showing the level and just kind of the purpose of this. So, just real quickly, I'm gonna call out on individuals. I see Carol just joined us. Carol, how are you?
Yeah, fine.
Welcome, welcome.
Great,
And
great.
Allie is with us as well. So we're just kind of getting caught up on diving into the definitions of why and what these specific terms are. So let's see. Allie, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay. Allie, I'm going to have you, if you will, read the definition of mentorship. And then let's see. Carol, I'm going to have ask if you will read the definition of leadership.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead, Allie.
All right. A mentor is someone who provides guidance, advice, and support to help another person grow personally or professionally.
Mhm. And so, what is the focus of that?
Individual development.
Okay. And what is basically this relationship that we're establishing?
Often one-on-one, long-term, and based on trust.
And then, what about those roles?
shares experience, offers feedback, and helps mentees navigate challenges.
Okay, thank you so much. So now in contrast, Carol, would you read this particular area?
Certainly. A leader is someone who influences and guides a group toward achieving common goals.
And what is the focus on that?
Team or organizational success.
And what about the relationship?
Broader, involving teams or groups.
And then the role.
Sets the vision, motivates others, makes decisions, and drives performance.
Okay, so thank you so much. So with that, we're looking at, as we see earlier, Michelle had stated this, that is mentorship is a way of encouraging an individual. And I did then share a little bit more that it is something, an action, and it's something where we're looking to drive performance. And so there is definitely an intent that is there. The scope is, it's for the mentors, focus on individuals, where leaders basically are looking for and at that organizational structure of that. So there's authority where mentors may not have formal authority, and leaders usually do. And then the goal here is mentorship is about growth, and leadership is more about direction and results. So within this workshop, we are kind of combining the two because we at Global Ed want to create leaders. And so therefore, creating leaders is an ongoing process. But with any leader, you have followers as well. And so we want to use these ways of learning and developing self motivation and also professionalism to come up with discovering these styles that we all need. So some of the overlapping qualities that we will see is, Michelle, I'm going to have you just quickly go over the one is the quality and the other is description. So why don't you tell us about trust?
Okay, it says builds strong, reliable relationships.
And then go with guidance.
Guidance offers direction and support.
And the vision?
Inspires with a clear sense of purpose.
And then finally?
Is accountability. It holds self and others responsible.
Absolutely. So these are just the qualities that are naturally going to be developed about this mentor-mentee ship that is taking place. And so, of course, we have to touch upon the different styles. Most of the information that I'm sharing with you has to do with research-based information, academically based research that that I'll always offer you, and also from a practical position as well. So the basic styles of leadership and the approaches are transformational, servant, coaching, and democratic. And so it's really interesting that I actually this morning I was reading in Matthew. I'm just starting to study in the book of Matthew, and one of the dynamics that it stated is that there is a difference between leaders serve without needing to be acknowledged. I thought that was just the summation of true leadership. When you are a true leader, your ego does not necessarily get in the way of your leading others. And so servant is one of the natural components of being a leader. However, all leaders are not servants. Some are coaching, where they are more acting as a coach. And then the democratic style is the type of leadership when you want to go along with the crowd and get everyone involved. Basically, the most effective type of leader is one that is a transformational leader. A transformational leader is one that is willing to evolve and change according to the needs of their organization and based on professional and personal development. Some of the activities we will go over are leadership style self-assessment, and we'll just talk about a little of those. Let's see. Carol is on board. Carol, I'm going to get you back on. I don't think
Sure.
Michelle, we have a second Michelle that is joining us, Michelle Fuller. I don't see that she is here with us, but hopefully you'll get to meet her next week. Carol, can you go over these leadership styles? Just read
Sure.
through those.
Transformational, servant, coaching, and democratic.
Okay, right. So just go across the
Okay,
board
all right.
and share what the traits are
right.
and the strengths.
Yeah, the transformational, I really appreciate your explaining, and it's so much to learn. Anyway, transformational style inspires change, vision is visionary and motivating, and it drives innovation. Oops, I've gotten my switch, the screen went back to mentoring approaches.
I believe, oh, I'm sorry. It's doing it minds of its own. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. The servant style serves others, is empathetic, humble, and builds trust.
Mm-hmm.
The coaching style develops individuals, is encouraging and gives
Offer
feedback,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and enhances growth.
Mm-hmm.
I might say just both of the coach and the coachee.
Yes.
The democratic style is shared decisions, inclusive and collaborative, and fosters participation. Sorry.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so now we're going to, in contrast, go and read the differences between a mentor. And let's see, let's go with Portia. Are you available? Are you there online with us?
I am.
Hi, darling.
I'm here. Hi, my love.
Hi. Can you go ahead and share a little bit about just the differentiation between mentoring approaches?
Sorry, repeat that again, Miss Kim. I heard you say.
Get online.
Yeah. All right. Do you have access to the screen? I'm not sure. Do you have access to the screen?
I do. So you want me to go over the types, or what
Yeah.
are you asking?
So just go traditional and read across each one.
Okay. I see traditional. The types. Excuse me, you guys. This is the mentoring approaches, and there's traditional, which is it went to another. Okay, there you go. Traditional is the one-on-one. Long term is the structure. The focus would be the career growth. And an example would be a senior mentor junior.
Mm-hmm.
The next type is a peer, which is the same level, peers.
Right.
Focus is a mutual support. And an example would be new hire helps each other. The third type would be a group, which is the structure is one mentor, many mentees.
Right.
The focus would be shared learning.
Mm-hmm.
And the example would be manager, mentors, interns.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth would be reverse. The structure would be juniors, mentors, seniors, and the focus would be fresh insights. An example would be the Gen Zs teaches tech.
Mm-hmm.
And our last and final type is situational, which the structure would be short-term goal-based. Focus would be specific challenge, and an example would be a mentor for promotion prep.
Okay, so we've now kind of gone over both styles and the approaches. Does anyone have any questions, or can you comment and just maybe say if this is kind of broaden your perception of what this is all about?
For me, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Go on.
For me, Dr. Kim, after reading it all, I love the breakdown because it gives you the type, the structure, the focus, and the examples thereof. So with that, it just gives you a breakdown of the different tiers that each individual can will will be if you're dealing with a traditional peer group or reverse or a situational type of person. These are the steps and the guides that will help you get them to where they need to be as far as being a leader or your role as a mentee or a mentee.
Absolutely. Very nice. And so the reason why this is valuable information to you all as your goal as leaders, I mean, ultimately you are in the path of becoming strong leaders in your field, in your workplace, in your organizations, etc. And so we are going to team in being able to share the differences and how important it is. So you're just not out there floundering about these ideas of how you should be a good leader. I think Carol was someone that had
these are extreme. I think sometimes it's a learn as you go process, especially for us older folks, that we get into what we think of a mentor and they're not exactly what we expected them to be, or they're more than we expected to be. We get into a situation where we're confused. This certainly helps to aid us to go to say, okay, I can learn from this, and I need to understand. It gives us a better understanding of the person and how they're operating.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing. And, you know, I think the best way for us to actually approach all of this is that it is, of course, the dynamics here that we are all going to learn and share this together. So it's very interactive. I'm going to send each one of you this because we don't have time to really go through this leadership style assessment, but I will send this out to you, and I would like for you each to go over this and see where you find yourself as your leadership styles. It's very simple. It's just looking to see which one you basically relate to with your different styles, etc. And so I will go over this, but it's very important for us to be able to self-identify who we are. Now, in this, the goal is that we think that we might be, for example, a democratic style leader. The goal is, even if that is where you might identify yourself as a true leader, as we're transforming and becoming our best self, you may have to utilize all of these elements in order to be most effective. So we want to make sure where your strengths are and then learning where you might have to adapt. Okay. Core skills for mentors and leaders. Of course, this is main idea with this is how we listen. You know, for many, many years, in my own personality, I saw myself as really a good listener. However, when I started learning about what it means to truly listen and engage in the other person, my active listening was not really actively listening to the other person. It was more me looking for an opportunity to give my own opinion back about that situation. So I've had to learn how to actually listen differently, and it's really goes back to that other area of serving, the area that and another thing is too, I have never really seen myself as a servant leader. Even though I desire to be a servant leader, that really wasn't my strong suit. I've had to learn how to serve others. So, you know, these techniques and things that we sometimes think that we are might not always be our true and authentic self. So these are areas that we need to learn. So that's just an example of where I had to change. Another one is we need to ask powerful questions. Any of you that kind of know me or whatever, Carol, you know, we've gotten to know each other over the, you know, last year, and you're probably kind of getting to know me of how I can really hone in and ask good
Absolutely.
questions. you know, and that I believe is something. It's twofold. Sometimes it's needed in a friendship because we're getting to know each other, but then
Right.
on a professional level as well, we need to know how to ask powerful questions that are going to help assess and help us in structuring how we're going to help mentor others. Giving constructive feedback. Now, that's something that as leaders, we need to learn how to do that without any other bringing up any other baggage along with that. And when we're kind of mentoring things, a lot of us might see certain behaviors in the workplace from our leaders, and it just might not hit you right as far as how they give you feedback, etc. So, as leaders, we need to learn how to do this in an appropriate way. And then, of course, finally, we'll be getting into some goal setting and expectations. We'll do ideally, we will do some role playing and mentoring conversations. I might allow us to do one of those just because of the time the time constraints that we do have. Okay. All right, and so I see that I've put together this kind of chart. I kind of like some at a glance type of things that where we see what see it all at a glance. It kind of tells that story. So real quickly, let's see who do we have? How about it's Saya? I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Is it Saya?
It is. It's Saya.
Okay, it's
You
so
said it
beautiful.
right.
I always love the way it's written. But can
Thank
you
you.
quickly just kind of share the skill that we're learning on under active listening?
Active listening is fully focusing, understanding, and responding thoughtfully to others. It matters because it builds trust, shows
Uh-oh,
respect.
sorry. Uh-oh, it's telling me that I'm about to run out of time. Just a second. All right. Then quickly go over, since you're on a roll, the asking powerful questions.
Asking powerful questions is thought-provoking, open-ended questions that encourage reflection and insight, and it matters because it promotes critical thinking, self-awareness, and deeper conversations.
Okay, keep going.
Giving constructive feedback is offering clear, respectful, and actionable input for improvement. It matters because it supports growth, builds confidence, and strengthens performance.
Mhm.
Setting goals and expectations is defining clear, achievable objectives and standards, which aligns efforts, motivates progress, and provides direction and accountability.
Very nice. Thank you. So that's just kind of at a glance, but I think it's very effective because I love specifically where we're outlining why it matters. I think that's just very important. So here are some of the other skills for effective leadership. Of course, we have communication,
It's a fire alarm.
decision making, adaptability, and inspiration. So these are other qualities that also come out in this as we're developing these certain skills. For example. Saya, I know that you were one of my students, so you understand the element of where I hope to think I am a good communicator, but from a student standpoint and from an academic standpoint, you understand how important it is to be clear when you're stating of your vision and expectations. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, for sure. Especially when I think about all the conversations we had over text during the semester. It was really important to be really clear like the first few times I contacted you because sometimes there was such a gap in like when we could answer one another, so it just made it easier.
Right, right, absolutely. So I will provide more of this information for you, so you'll have this in your toolkit for this workshop. And then skills of effective leadership. This is just a chart that just kind of shows the impact that we have in communication, how important that is, decision making, adaptability, and inspiration. Of course, as a leader, when we're mentoring others, it is very, very important for us to again, be inspirational and encouraging, as Michelle had stated earlier. So these are a couple of scenarios that when we're going through goal setting. And let's just kind of go real quickly. I'm going to, let's have Carol. Carol, I'm going to have you be the mentor, and Michelle, you're going to be the mentee. If you can just quickly go through this one. Anyone there? Are we
Carol
there?
isn't here anymore.
Oh, Carol's not here. Okay, was that Saya? Then you go for it. You're the mentor. Ask
Oh,
the question.
what's something you've done recently that made you feel energized or proud?
Okay, so I'm the mentee. All right, so in this situation, most recently, I have really been enjoying the possibilities of this particular class. Now, one of my weaknesses that I didn't think is a weakness is my tech ability. So that's something that I need from my mentor to help me with. So go ahead, Saya, with the reply.
That's a great insight. What would it look like to take on more leadership opportunities in your current role?
Right? So for me, actually, it would be more trial and error. The thing is that I thought, during COVID, I'd mastered all of this, but unfortunately, we don't always do that. So, so these are type of things, and so I have some other role plays that we can go over and reflect on, but we need to really.
Next, we are going to.
Whoops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do
building
that.
Trust and influence. With that, this will be involving building trust and influence, and we will be facilitating a group activity on trust and trust builders.
Okay, that is something that we will get to eventually. Right now, we're talking about the importance of emotional intelligence. Oh my gosh, that is extremely important to know where we score on our emotional intelligence. It's not always about our academic strengths, it's how we handle emotional situations. Additionally, how we model different behavior, different attitudes that we might have, finding out how it matters. We need to understand how to approach individuals and what that impact is. And then finally, it's so important for us in a mentee mentor leadership role that we have to create a comfortable environment. And so these are some of the strong tools that I believe people look for and why they really matter, especially today in, with social media, et cetera. Sometimes the information that you share can't always be trusted. And so we need to go over that. So these are some other indicators, how to build trust and trust breakers. I think that is very important. Active listening, dishonesty, that's a deal breaker, when you find out someone is dishonest. So this is something that I will share with you as well, so you can understand when we are in conversation, certain areas that might cause doubt in our mentee mentor situations and forms of leadership. But I just think this is really something that is practical, but very, very honest. Additionally, we're going to come up with an action plan. Oops, sorry, guys. An action plan. I'll just go to this one. Action plan, I just have a quick chart that we'll go over. It's supportive and approachable, visionary and inspiring, empowering and inclusive, calm under pressure. Wow. So as much as I have done a lot of speaking, public speaking, teaching, lecturing in the classroom, I still get under pressure each time I start. But you know what I think it is because I care about it. And so that's something that we often might think that's a problem that makes us nervous, but we need to be able to address those certain things. So we're going to come up with
next we're going to
an action plan. Sorry. I had some of this pre-recorded for to share with you all later once you get involved in hosting your own your own different workshops. Then you will be able to utilize this as a training tool as well. So we've already kind of gone over that, the what, the so what, and now what, those models of identifying and the focus of this session, exploring next steps, and committing an action plan and feedback. So these are my researchers that I glean from, and I just think it's always important for anyone that is presenting viable information that they need to know that it's credible and it's reliable information. So this was like a speed through time, and I think we're almost out of time. But I'm just quickly going to ask, because I did ask what one word, we might not even have time to do that. I'm going to ask maybe Allie. Allie, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, real quickly, what do you hope to find out about mentorship in this session?
I would probably just say elaborating more on navigating different like personality types and the way that people approach situations and topics, kind of just expanding on that knowledge and building upon it to create a better foundation for the future.
Okay, perfect.